Hello YouTube, this will be my second blog video. Now in my last video I told you that I have a preacher that works with me at my job and that we have daily discussions, a few biblical topics, and he tries to explain things to me. I ask him, well, whatever. He asked me if I believed in God. I told him I did. This was a few months ago, which then prompted these debates. Now, for those of you that would categorize all Christians as the "stop it, you're going to hell," whatever, blah, 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 blah. He's not really like this. I will have to give him his props on that. He does not try to force it on you. He may still be a little delusional on some of his points, but I think he means well. And every week he asks me if I want to go to his Bible study, and I refuse. I keep telling him I don't want to go, whatever. But I decided I would try something. I was like, okay, fine then. If I come to your Bible study, I want to pick the Bible verse we read. He went for it. He said it was okay. Now what I like to do is I would like to read to you the Bible passage that we read in the Bible study and get your thoughts on it. And for those of you at home that want to follow along, we are in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18, and then reading down from there. Starts off, verse 18, Deuteronomy 21:18. If someone has a son who is stubborn, who turns against his father and mother and doesn't obey them or listen when they correct him, his parents must take him to the older leaders at the city gate. They will say to the leaders, "Our son is stubborn and turns against us. He will not obey us. He eats too much and he's always drunk." Then all the men in his town must throw stones at him until he dies. Get rid of the evil among you, because then all the people of Israel will hear about this and be afraid. Now, of course, this version of the Bible words it a little different. It's still the same thing, saying that if you have a son that eats too much and is always drunk, or doesn't obey his mother and father, it does say that the mother and father have gotten on to him, and the son in this question still doesn't listen, that you should take him to the elder leaders at the city gate, and they will get everyone together, and all the men in the town will throw rocks at him, because a disobedient son deserves to be killed. Now, I brought this up at the Bible study, and the preacher went on to say that, of course, this was Old Testament, that this was God trying to show people what was needed to be done, I guess, in order to get right with God, or to create he says it's to create a moral foundation. And I still don't understand that point, that why would the creator of the universe want you to kill your son? That's just something that I really don't think I'll ever agree with anybody on. Like, that's something I'll always be opposed to. Why would you kill your own son? Now, granted, during the Bible study, he did make the distinction that this was an older person, saying that since he was drunk and all that, he assumed he'd be older. Now, we can't really assume he would be older, because I'm assuming back in these days, again, back in these days, they didn't have a drinking age. So he could have been, 10 or something. Could have been below the age of accountability, which I might do that in another video. But right now I'm going to stay on this verse. So what it's saying is that I guess from what the preacher was telling me, that your son grows up to not be what you want him to be. He doesn't do what he's supposed to. He's a slob. He eats too much, drinks too much, is a drain on society, etc., 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 and that you should kill him. It then says to do this, and that all Israel shall hear, and they shall fear it. So right now, you are killing somebody to send a message. That kind of sounds like something, I think someone else had that same idea. Now, after seeing that picture, yeah, it was that guy. He had that idea. So now I've equivalent the Bible to Hitler. Funny how that happens. But to go on, I shall leave you with this one question for the viewers, and I want you to leave your opinions down there and tell me what you think. If your God told you to kill your son, would you do it?